So hello everyone and welcome to part 3, which is dealing with the network layer. The topic of this particular video is the functionality of the network layer. And then in other videos we will go more in depth with the more specific parts. The purpose of this part of the course is for you to understand a number of points and I would, instead of reading all this aloud, please take some time to study all of these bullet points. What I recommend you to do is that during the videos, then take notes, especially focusing on these points, and in the beginning of each video I will mention which of these points are covered by this particular video. So for example, the video here will give you an overview of the most important functionalities of the network layer, and it will give you a basic understanding of how a packet gets from one host to another. So looking at the network layer in the context of OSI and TCP/IP, you will see that it's the layer 3 in the OSI model. So it is between the data link layer and the transport layer. And therefore we would also say that the network layer is interfacing to the transport layer and the data link layer. And the most important abstraction is to hide the network layer itself, the transport layer, so the transport layer knows nothing about how routing is done, how many routers there are, the network topology, etc. So we can compare this a little bit to a mailbox where the transport layer is putting the packets in the mailbox, and then the network layer is making sure that the packet is arriving by trucks and buses or whatever to its destination. So if it was a mail, it would be the mailbox, the trucks, the buses, and so on. So the most important functionality in the network layer is the routing, to make sure that the packets can find their way through the network. But there are some functionalities that can also be handled at the network layer. For example, quality of service and congestion control, which is usually handled in more than one layer. But some parts can be done in the network layer. Again, the best analogy you can give is the snail mail system, where a mail is sent by putting it in the mailbox in the required format, writing the address and the sender and so on the letter, and then the system takes it to the receiver. Again, with a certain probability, because there is no guarantee that it's actually delivered, and it might be that you have two letters you send at the same time, but they arrive out of order or in a different order. So just like letters can be recommended, the network layer can offer either connectionless or connection-oriented services to a transport layer. And ATM is an example of connection-oriented protocol, and IP, the Internet Protocol, is an example of the connectionless protocol. And in the rest of the videos we'll look more into IP, because this is really what is being used in the Internet. It's also important to know that even if the network layer is connectionless, the transport layer can still be connection-oriented. So that is what TCP is doing on top of IP. So while IP is in itself considered to be unreliable, you can build the reliability into the higher layer protocols. That's the end of this video. Please don't hesitate to give me any questions or comments. Thanks.